Welcome to my channel. My name is Lexia, and today I want to come in here and talk about what I did to lose 25 pounds over the course of a year. And these changes are largely due to health problems that I became aware of in late 2022, which was PCOS. And I'm sure that anybody can implement these changes I'm about to discuss, no matter where you are in your health journey. I don't think this is necessarily limited to women with PCOS. My main goal, and which still is part of my daily life, is to balance my hormones and manage stress levels. And I think that's something that we can all take into consideration when we're leading a healthy lifestyle. I will be splitting this up into a few parts. The first one being my symptoms and my diagnosis, and then overall changes I made in regards to lowering my stress levels, diet, and other lifestyle habits. So let's get into it. I was diagnosed with PCOS in late 2022. I was around 175 pounds at the time. I had probably gained nearly 30 pounds in the course of a year. I also developed fatty liver disease. I was also not exercising the same intensity or the same way that I am now. Also drinking at the time, which contributed to my fatty liver, as well as high cholesterol, specifically my LDL, and then my high testosterone. And I was at a very high body fat percentage. And now I am back at a healthy weight. I am heavier than I used to be, but I also did put on more muscle. I'm stronger now. I feel good and I'm a lot happier. Okay, so changes that I made. The main one for me, and I'm still working on this, is lowering my stress levels. And I know you probably hear this one all the time, and I did too, and it was very annoying because we all have things going on in our lives, and a lot of things that are out of our control. But one thing we can control is our reactions to them. I at the time was doing cardio for about 40 minutes a day, nonstop, and this was a lot on my body considering that it was also going through a lot of change. That probably was not a smart idea for my body at the time. And then I got injured, and that made me obviously put that aside. I had fractured my foot shortly thereafter. In a good way, made me transition into more low intensity workouts. When I got better, I started getting into Pilates and yoga and walking, and also doing just a stationary bike. Today, I still try and aim for walking more no matter where I am. I'll take the stairs instead of the elevator. On my lunch breaks, I will go out for a walk rather than just sitting down and popping on my phone after I have a meal. I try and walk more by parking further, only if I'm with someone else most of the time. So if my boyfriend's next to me, we will park far and walk to our destination. There's so many different ways where you can get your steps in, whether it's after sunrise or right at sunset. It really helps with your biological clock, and I still do that to this day, including my diet. I don't really like to consider it a diet because my goal is to just eat healthy, eat whole foods, and I'm not a fan of society labeling eating healthy or eating whole foods as dieting. I just really try and make my body feel good and use that as medicine. So when it came to my diet, my main goal at the time was to lose weight consistently. And I did that by intermittent fasting. And I recommend this for short periods of time. So, don't go months with doing that. That's something that I did do. And as I was training more intensely and I was training for track and field competition, I was lifting heavier, my body just didn't feel as supported. So I have now transitioned to eating earlier. So I'll break my fast like around 11 or 10:30, depending on my day. And I made it a rule for myself to not eat after 8 o'clock just because I usually go to bed at 10 p.m. And for me, the growth hormone is so precious. In order to fully function at night and to perform at its best capacity, it's best to eat no later than 2 hours before your bedtime. You want to let your body and brain focus on recovering rather than directing all of its energy to digesting your food. There's a study on that that could explain a lot better. And so that leads me into also sleeping at the same time every night. Really getting the full 8 hours of sleep. I know some people say they perform and feel better at 7 or 6, but for me, I feel like my body is unstoppable when I get anywhere from 8 to 10 hours of sleep. So find what works for you, but I do think that it helps my skin, my hair, my hunger cues a lot. So just see what works for you. Going back to diet, I made sure that each main meal I had, so lunch and dinner, was stacked with veggies and a source of protein. For snacking, I would snack on fruit rather than having something packaged. I think that eating fruits and consuming natural forms of sugar really helped my cravings. And so if I was craving sugar, I would just snack on a fruit, and I didn't have to deal with like the crash or the consequences that came with eating a slice. And rather than accepting what a doctor tells you at face value, I think it's important that you also do your own research on whatever it is that your body is going through, whether it's listening to podcasts, YouTube videos, and take them with a grain of salt. Because I also found myself being afraid. There's just a lot of fear mongering online, unfortunately. Be gentle with yourself at the end of the day. The goal is to be better, not be perfect. I can talk about this all day, so if there are any other questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I'd be happy to reply or even make another video about this topic. I also forgot to mention, but at the time I also did deal with cystic acne, and I posted this on my Instagram as well. But as you can tell, it's quite non existent now. All these changes just really helped me overall on the inside and out. And I have the records to prove it. That's what makes me so happy. My cholesterol is normal. My cysts are at a normal rate. My weight is normal for my height and age. Testosterone is still in the works, but I think that mainly has to do with stress and staying out of here. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for your precious time.